Okay, so I made the pulp recipe according to 21% tone tanned paper, 53% husk paper, and 26% stone, right? These are the colors, basically. And what I did is I added calcium carbonate to the pulp, about 1 mil to the 400 mils here. And I added the retention agent, and then I added formation aid. We can go ahead, try a patch, and see how the color compares to the others, right? We want the color to maintain, essentially, right? We want the color of this patch to be the same as the back cover, same as the starting point, how we made it, right? I tried to measure the fibers exact, so I think that's important to measure exact so you can get the color that you want. Looks very light right now, but we want it to be kind of light, right? Okay, I think that's good enough. And maybe a little bit here, right? And then what I'm gonna do is put another remain on the top, like this. Press it down to flatten it. And then change the position of a little bit uneven here, but that's okay. We can measure it still. Change the position to a dry place on a paper towel like this, and then we'll let it dry overnight. We'll take a look tomorrow. So here we are the next day, guys, and it's dry now, and we can see the color and get the lab readings on this color, right? And it looks pretty good, right? Pretty good. So let's take a look at the back cover quickly and just do a comparison. Pretty close, I would say. Pretty close, right? Look at that. Not bad at all. All right, let me take the reading. So we're aiming for L.A.B value of 76, 4, and 16. Right, this is our aim at the end. See how close we can come. So for me to do this, I've got to use the color muse, and I've got to calibrate it and then put it on top and get the numbers right. So I got to shut off the recording while doing this because I can't do it both at the same time. All right, I'll tell you what the results were. So the first time we tried this method, the cover was still dirty. You had a lot of black speckles everywhere from the dirt, and it had to be cleaned. And certainly the water bath, right, the aqueous bath sort of lightened it up quite a bit. So we got entirely different values for the lab values, right? 76, 4, and 16. And that was our aim, is to get 76, 4, and 16 based on the color we sampled from the back and the front of the cover and did averages, right? So what did we get? We ended up going to a lighter color in general. You can see it, right? But it might work at the end. So because this is going to get another spraying, it's going to lighten some more, I think, because of when I do the leaf casting, it's going to get some spraying. And this color probably will lighten eventually, will be just perfect for this, right? So we'll see. But right now, the Atlas side has 76, 4, and 16, and the back side is about the same. And I did some measurements of the lab values for the various areas on the patch I did. And the reason why you do it on different areas, because I think the mixing sometimes isn't exact, and sometimes you get these little speckles because of the fibers, and you may end up slightly different readings, right? So I did lab readings for 7 times, 7 different sections of this, back and front, and I got an average of 81 for the L value. And for the A value, I got an average of 3. And for the B value, I got an average of 15. So I got 81, 3, and 15. And the Atlas side of this was 76, 4, and 16, right? So the question is now, is there a difference? So delta E value is you subtract the value of the L, this L, from this L, this A from this A, and this B from this B. If you do that, then square each. You gotta square each and then take the square root of that. That's the delta E value. If you do that, you end up with a value of delta E of 4. Now 4, according to what I've read, is in the range of 3 to 6, which is acceptable color difference, right? I mean, you can reject it. You can do something closer if you can. If you have a better instrument than the Color Muse, by all means, it may give you more precise and closer colors. I'm trying to get my hands on an X-Rite right now. Honestly, I'm hunting for one, but they're so expensive to get, right? Even on eBay, they're expensive. There are some lower models that you can get. I'm not sure if they're any better than the Color Muse, though. The high-end ones, the X-Rite Sphere is what it's called, is quite expensive, over $1,000, right? And, you know, if you're doing this as a profession, I would say, imagine you probably have these equipments. If you don't have it, you don't have the money to buy these things, then I think Color Muse is fine. You know, it'll do the job, right? So this is done. I think I'm okay with this, and I'm gonna place this as the color I get with this Furnish mixture. Now if I do lighter shades, I can, because I can actually make other batches, because I made a lot of pulp. Actually, I made too much pulp, and this should be enough for doing the book, the cover, right? Now, as far as the cover goes, we have to figure out how much Furnish we need to add to the areas that are missing. And this, we're going to use the computer program, Photoshop, again to help us. So I'll show that next time, how I calculate the amount of Furnish needed for those areas.